Is the NFL screwing with the Seattle Seahawks after the release of their 2025 NFL schedule? We have an I-team investigation as we will break down the numbers and everything you need to know as we're looking out for you, much like Bill O'Reilly used to do on the O'Reilly Factor many years ago. We'll do that here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we get to that, folks, I want to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're almost there at 67,500 subs, just over 100 away. We're bringing you our daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day, live shows each and every Monday and Wednesday. We are also bringing you the latest happenings on your favorite team with breaking news, Q-Day mailbags, and more. If you love the Seattle Seahawks, you got to be subscribed and stay up to date, where there is no offseason here on the channel. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/SeahawksTV, and we'll get started with today's show. So the more I look into detail of how this breaks down for Seattle, it's not going to be easy of what's ahead. There are some challenges facing this Seahawks team entering 2025. Let's tell you what those are. Let's start by going by the numbers here. Seattle does not play an international game this year, and yet, even with that in mind, they are going to travel the third most of any team in the National Football League this season at 31,302 miles. Woof. Frequent flyer miles, baby. Let's go. On top of that, they will play not one, but 2 Thursday night football games this season. I'm old enough to remember when the league didn't even allow you to play more than 1 Thursday night game, and they get stuck with 2. It's nice that they're putting them in prime time, but really, you got to play on Thursday twice, and you got to play on a streaming service? Yes. It doesn't stop there. They have 7 total matchups against playoff teams from the 2024 through 2025 season. They also have 2 total games that are on Sunday and Monday Night Football this year. So that is a good thing. We'll take that, but Monday does still mean a short week. And also, when we talk about not getting any favors here, there's only one time the entire season where they have back-to-back home games where they're not traveling elsewhere, where they're staying right in Seattle put. That's weeks 15 and 16 against the LA Rams. This is ridiculous. All right, to put it in the simplest of terms, this is a mess what the NFL handed the Seattle Seahawks here. And it's total disrespect here. I mean, you got 4 primetime games, and 2 of them are on streaming services. You got to do all that travel. You didn't get any favors with the matchups, and you don't get to stay at home for consecutive weeks. A lot of miles to deal with. Just an incredible amount of travel without even playing an international game. And then the thing about Thursday Night Football, it's not terrible, all right? I like Thursday Night Football. I think Amazon does a good job with Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit and all that crew. But playing on it twice, that's when things get difficult because that takes you out of your element. It's not a normal week. And not everybody is going to have to deal with that either, of being in the same boat where you're playing 2 Thursday night games. And even the 1 Monday Night Football game you got, it's not even the real Monday Night Football. You're on ESPN frickin' Plus. All right? As a guy that's broadcasted on ESPN Plus before, let me be the first to tell you, ESPN Plus, at least right now, is a pretty crappy product. I can't even trust it to stream half the time. I try to watch Kansas basketball games, and most of the time they don't even start on time on ESPN Plus. The production quality is garbage on ESPN Plus most of the time. And last year, that Chargers-Cardinals game, that was the Monday Night Football doubleheader that they put on ESPN Plus, was one of the lowest rated games of the entire season. We don't get Joe Buck and the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. No, we're stuck watching them on a streaming service and had to pay for it. Great. That's 3 games on streaming services this year. If you hate Roger Goodell and think he's screwing the Seahawks, here's our pinned comment today. Type boo in the comments. Tell us boo, he stinks. Let your voices be heard loud and clear. And send all of the bad juju, bad karma over to Roger Goodell for what he's done to our precious Seahawks. Today's show is sponsored by the Hall of Fame app. Have you ever been one leg away from hitting a massive parlay, but it got ruined by an unlucky buzzer beater, maybe an unexpected strikeout or even a blocked field goal? We've all been there. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of throwing money at parlays that have a good gut feeling about it. That's where the HOF app has completely changed the game. The HOF app was founded by huge sports fans who just happen to be giant data nerds that graduated from Ivy League schools. The HOF app is going to give you a leg up on Vegas by using historical data, matchup grades, leg correlation tools, and player performance insights. I've won multiple parlays recently, which included the under on Pacers Cavs in Game 5. With a 4.9 rating in the App Store and over 6,000 five-star reviews, it's safe to say that the HOF app has already helped a lot of people win smarter. For limited time only, our listeners not only get a 7-day free trial, but they also get 50% off their first month when they use code CHAT at checkout. Just download the HOF app on iOS or Android, enter code CHAT, and you're all set. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Now, I will say this. It isn't all bad, this schedule. There is some give and take here. They do have the 11th easiest schedule in the NFL, as their opponents they're facing last season won close to 47% of their games. But the 49ers and Cardinals, right there in your same division, have easier schedules than you do. So, while it may seem nice, there's somebody right there with you that's even getting an easier road. The Seahawks will play 11 games against quarterbacks that have been named to a Pro Bowl at some point in their careers. And there's no break in this schedule. There's no stretch where you look at and say, this looks pretty good. There's no DEI portion of the schedule, as I would like to call it here. You're not getting any chance to just kind of breathe for a second. Every game, any given Sunday, is going to be a challenge ahead for this team. Here's some of the notable quarterbacks they'll face. Week 1, Brock Purdy. He's played in a Super Bowl with San Francisco. Aaron Rodgers, we think. That's why we put a question mark there, a few question marks. We believe he's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback. But maybe it's Mason Rudolph potentially, but let's just assume Aaron for now. Week 2, that's difficult going on the road. Then you move ahead to Week 4. You face a very familiar foe in Kyler Murray. The Seahawks have had their way with Kyler Murray in recent memory. Baker Mayfield. I'm a big Baker Mayfield fan. I love me some Baker Mayfield. He and the Bucs have been doing something right the last few seasons. They keep on winning that division, and I think they're going to be a contender in the NFC this year. Then you face Trevor Lawrence. And I know Trevor Lawrence hasn't necessarily met expectations for being a former number 1 overall pick and was believed to be a generational talent and all this. But still, with that said, Trevor Lawrence can go rock your socks off at any given moment and really light it up. And I was wondering, I'm curious how the 12s think about this. In a one-game situation, which quarterback would you rather have right now? Sam Darnold or Trevor Lawrence? Type SD for Sam Darnold, type TL for Trevor Lawrence. Weigh in, let us know which quarterback you think is better at this very moment. Week 7, you face C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is coming off a sophomore slump, but I think there's still reason to be optimistic that C.J. Stroud is a franchise quarterback in this league and that he's well on his way. Then Week 9, you go up against the Rookie of the Year in the National Football League last year, Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. Oh, yeah, and you're facing our old friend Dan Quinn and Bobby Wagner and all those guys on top of that, too. Washington, I think, is going to be really good again, coming off an NFC Championship game appearance. Then you face Kyler Murray for a second time, Week 10. And then how about this? Your last 3 weeks, you face every quarterback you face has played in a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford, you get him Week 11. Then you'll see him again Week 16. And then Brock Purdy again to wrap up the season Week 18. And who knows, maybe all 3 of those matchups could have playoff implications. Also of note, now we know this happens every year, but this seems to be an excessive amount. The Seahawks have 6 total cross-country trips this year. They're going to be stacking the airline miles, my friends. They will have 4 10 a.m. Pacific time kickoffs. So get your mimosas out, get your coffee in hand. It is going to be early. And for the players, your biological clock has got to adjust accordingly and be ready to go. You're out of your element a bit when you're starting games that early. You got a bye week 8. I can live with that. That's actually a good point to have the bye week close to the middle portion of the season. Good chance to get some rest there. We've seen in the past where they've gotten bye weeks as early as week 5. Week 8, that's fine with me. But overall, this team didn't really get any favors when it comes to this schedule with where the opponents are at, with the travel that's involved, and even the TV time frame of, sure, we'll give you these national games, but we're going to stick you on streaming services. You only get one true national game this year that's not on a streaming service, with that being that Sunday night game against the Commanders on the Peacock Network on NBC with Tirico and Collinsworth and Melissa. This will be a challenge for what's ahead for the Seattle Seahawks in more ways than one, not just for the players, but for the fans and the coaches and everybody involved. As Troy Bolton once said, we're all in this together, I guess. That's how it's going to be. What game are you most excited for this season? If you had to pick one, what would it be and why? Give me the game that comes to mind in the comment section below. For continuing Seahawks coverage, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.